Hi friends. Last Sunday we had a wonderful celebration for Lag B'Omer. We're so grateful to Steve and Helene Grossman who opened up their home, and our panelists who came and shared with us their ideas of spirituality and specifically spiritual music. Cantor Ben Adler, who was our congregational cantor from 1995 to 2002. Helene Kates, who spent a decade working with us as one of our cantorial soloists, and in the recent year has been vested, and she is now Hazzan Kates, which we are grateful for. Barry Herman, who before he became our executive director, worked as our choir director and also has experience with choirs around the town, and so many others who came to share their vision of spiritual music and what music does for our spirit. We are grateful that they spent the time with us, and we're going to show you a few little clips to, if you didn't make it, and look forward to many more opportunities to talk about the AA tunes and the spiritual life we're trying to live together. We are also very grateful to be able to announce that Helene Kates, Hazzan Helene Kates, is going to be this year's High Holiday Cantor. We're grateful to her and to all of our Mashorim and spiritual singers who will be playing a very important role in lifting and building up the spirit for this year's High Holidays. Enjoy.
But I'll tell you, the first tune I was introduced to at AA, it was a Shabbat that I had my trial Shabbat, and sitting on the bima, and right after the Torah reading, Cantor Goodfriend hands me this written piece of music which was very difficult to read. He said, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, we do the prayer for the state of Israel. It was the Tfilah Lishlom HaMedinah." Now, I was familiar with the words because the words were written actually by the chief rabbi of Israel in the 1930s, Rav Kook. And so, do you still do that at AA? The Tfilah Lishlom HaMedinah?
Is it the same?
Is it Avinu Shebashamayim? Sur Yisrael ve'go'alo, Barech v'kinat Yisrael, Reshit tzmichat ge'ulateinu, Hagen aleha ve'evrat chastecha. All right, well, good. Excellent.
So we have a long tradition of music and spirituality going all the way back to the temple days. So if you read the Psalms, Lamanatzech means to the choir master. So in the same way as sacrifice was part of the temple service, so was the incense service, and so was music, including with instrumentation. So there is a long tradition of musical instrumentation daily in the temple service that goes back millennia. So always bear that in mind. The other thing is that it says in the Shulchan Aruch, when you look at the halakha, when a community is looking for a chazan, it says that you've got to have somebody who is an upstanding person, somebody who's pleasant to the congregation, somebody who understands Tehillim, somebody who understands a little bit of Torah. So that when you stand up, in those days, people were largely illiterate and they were unable to read Hebrew, and so the Chazan was quite literally the shaliach, the person, the congregation's representative to God.
Dealing with spirituality, so I think it's a very complex question. It sounds very simple, but you first have to ask yourself, what is spirituality? And spirituality means that your neshama really connects with the, as they say in Yiddish, the Eibishter, the one up above. Does your neshama connect with the one up above when you pray, and does the tune elicit that connection? Does the tune cause that connection? And my favorite quote by the rabbis is, Tfilah b'li mangina kemo guf b'li neshama. That a prayer without a tune is like a body without a soul.
But the Hebrew letters are the way that God created the world. Everything vibrates. Everything that exists vibrates. In order to have a physical anything, it vibrates. Therefore, everything sings, even though we don't hear it. When we sing, we breathe from a very deep part of ourselves. When we're talking, we don't have to go to that deep place. When we sing, especially when we sing with all our heart and all our soul and all our might, we're going to that deepest place of breath. When God created Adam, he breathed the soul into Adam. And that's why I think music is so spiritual. Do I really know? No. Have I experienced it? Yes.
What is your AA tune? Join us for Shavuot at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, June 11th for this year's journey, singing at Sinai.